A Scotch Bluff woman will be spending a minimum of 3 years in prison after a jury finds her guilty on drug and weapons charges. KNEB.TV News starts right now.
From your trusted source for news in western Nebraska and eastern Wyoming, this is KNEB.TV News. Presented by Platte Valley Companies, premier provider of financial services.
Hello, I'm Ryan Murphy. This is KNEB.TV News powered by Platte Valley Companies. Thanks for joining me. In our top story, it took a Scottsbluff County jury just 90 minutes to find a local woman guilty on drug and weapon charges. Last week, 34-year-old Ashley Gonzalez was convicted on charges including possession of a firearm by a felon and possession of methamphetamine. Gonzalez was arrested in July following the execution of a search warrant at a residence on 15th Avenue, where authorities found 2 firearms, meth, marijuana, and drug paraphernalia. Gonzalez will face a mandatory minimum of 3 years in prison when she's sentenced on June 26th. Well, a 40-year-old Alliance woman who was sentenced in Lincoln on Friday will serve a term in a federal penitentiary. U.S. Attorney Stephen Russell announced that Tiffany Davis was sentenced by Senior U.S. District Judge John Gerard to 51 months of imprisonment for possession with intent to deliver methamphetamine. In 2021, officers pulled over Davis's car in Alliance, executing a search warrant on the car and locating approximately 44 grams of methamphetamine in her purse, and was charged with intent or distribution. There is no parole in the federal system, and after her release from prison, she will begin a 4-year term of supervised release. This case was investigated by the FBI and the Box Butte County Sheriff's Office. We'll have more news right after this.
Swipe right, swipe left, endlessly searching. Finding the perfect match isn't always perfect, but it can be when it comes to finances. Nora found the perfect business loan. Jenny opened her first savings account. Grammy loves her checking account. We found a match for Wilson Farms. The Sandersons were matched with a mortgage. Regardless of your financial situation, Platte Valley Bank will match you with the perfect solution. Find your match at Platte Valley Bank.
To sum up the past 20 years in one word, exceptional. It's one of our core values. But our people have been truly exceptional. Our customer support has been exceptional. In 20 years, where will Allo be? When we started, we were just a business fiber company. Then the demand came from residential. Now the products of both business and residential just continue to expand. We've got to start with customers' needs and always work backwards. The customers will tell us, and our teammates will take us there.
Are you looking for the perfect place to hold a wedding, family reunion, holiday office party, or business meeting? Well, look no further. The Hampton Inn and Suites Hotel and Conference Center is just the place for you. We're a full-service banquet facility that can host up to 400 of your guests. Stop in and see our spacious open-concept meeting rooms and begin planning your special event or family gathering today. Let us do the work for you so you can enjoy your guests. For personal service, stop by the Hampton Inn and Suites front desk.
Welcome back. In its final meeting before lawmakers debate the biennial state budget and finalize possible 2 tax cut packages, the Nebraska Economic Forecasting Advisory Board voted on Wednesday to lower revenue projections in the near term. Revenue projections for the current fiscal year were lowered by $80 million, down to $6.36 billion, with anticipated of $200 million in individual income and sales and use tax receipts, offset in part by projected increases of $120 million in corporate and miscellaneous tax receipts. During comments before setting the new forecast, board member and banker Zach Karpf of Scottsbluff said national trends of much higher inflation and tightening credit just don't appear to be as apparent in the state.
In terms of some of the comments that were made in some of the forecasting, I see, our customers see what happened in California at SVB as not having anything to do with how we do banking in Nebraska and specifically how community banks operate when you look at the house of cards that they built. But we haven't seen any changes in credit policy. There's not a tightening going on. I do see questions getting asked.
Other members of the forecasting board did voice concerns about the persistence of higher inflation and the potential impact of the state's tight labor market. Total projected revenue receipts for the fiscal year of 23 to 24 and 24 to 25 were increased modestly by $25 million and $55 million, respectively. The next meeting of the board is set for October 27th. Well, the Nebraska Game and Parks Commission plans to certify youth fishing instructors at 2 Panhandle locations this week. The workshops will be at the Knight Museum and Sandhill Center in Alliance on May 2nd, and at the Group Event Complex in Chadron State Park on May 3rd, with each running from 6 to 9 p.m. Workshop participants will receive training and tools to conduct youth fishing clinics with access to Game and Parks loaner equipment and educational materials, and will receive program incentives. Registration is required, which can be done by visiting the respective event listing online at calendar.outdoornebraska.gov. And almost 83,000 tickets have been sold for Nebraska's outdoor college volleyball doubleheader at Memorial Stadium in Lincoln on August 30th. The event starts with the Division II exhibition between Wayne State and Nebraska Kearney, and will be followed by a regular season match between the Cornhuskers and Omaha. Athletic Director Trev Albert said the goal has gone from setting the NCAA volleyball attendance record to breaking the U.S. women's one-day record for any sport. The record is 90,185 for the 1999 Women's World Cup final between the U.S. and China at the Rose Bowl in Pasadena, California.
Culture trumps everything else.
In my years, I've never worked for a company that treats people the way this one does.
It is my passion for agriculture that brought me here in the first place, but not only that, there's a huge family-oriented atmosphere within the 21st Century Equipment.
I love working for 21st. They found something in me that I didn't know in myself. An intern to where I'm at now is such a great opportunity, and that is what this company is about.
This is KNEB.TV weather from the KNEB Storm Center, your trusted source for weather.
It's going to be a very quiet evening across the region with clear skies, light winds, and comfortable temperatures falling down into the 30s. Another chilly night overnight. But nicer temps are expected this week. The warmest day looks like it's going to be Wednesday. Rain and thunder chances return, especially Thursday onward. And we could be dealing with some widespread precip, maybe even heavy precip out there. Yesterday, 69 was our high and our low 36, both of those right about average for this time of year. As far as rain goes, nothing in the rain gauge. We ended the month at 54 hundredths. That's it. We're about an inch and 38 short. We're an inch short for the year now as we move into May. As we look back at April and recap how things went, up and down on the temperature carousel. We had a high of 92 on the 11th. 1 week prior to that, on the 4th, we had a high of just 30 degrees. So some cold snaps, warmer temperatures, cooler temperatures, oscillating back and forth. We're trending into a warmer pattern now here, I think, for the next several days. And 2 days, really, with much in the way of measurable precip. I guess 3 if you count the 1/10 of an inch we had on the 4th. Otherwise, a pretty dry month. Chances of precip are going up. Starting Wednesday during the afternoon, an isolated shower or storm. Better chances return Thursday and really I'll go all the way into early next week. Let's hope we can get that precip. We certainly need it. Winds are going to be in check. We don't see much coming in the way of strong breezes at all, so that is certainly some good news. As far as temperatures go right now, the reason we didn't get any warmer today is we still have that giant low-pressure system off to the east of us that's spinning that colder air back in counterclockwise behind it, pushing some of that cooler air in from the north into our region, and that is why temps were a little bit cooler today than what they could have been and what they will be here the next several days, but still comfortable in the west. We have 70 in Scottsbluff, 65 in Cheyenne, only 58 in O'Neill. Valentine checks in at 59, at 68 in Ogallala, 70s all the way up into Casper. Winds are out of the northwest, or make that east-northeast, at 5 to 15, gusting at times to 15 to 20, so not a lot out there in the wind department. Let's take a look at Futurecast for tonight. We're going to be fairly quiet out there. In fact, it's going to be a clear, quiet night overnight. Tomorrow, there's going to be an abundant amount of sunshine across the region. We don't see much coming our way. Rain showers are going to be held off into the high country as we go Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. Now, by Wednesday afternoon, we will start to see a few more clouds filter in here, and isolated thunderstorms could form as we get late Wednesday into Wednesday night. Otherwise, that's really about it until we get into Thursday. Lows tonight, 20s off to the east, 30s in the west. Highs tomorrow going to rebound. Still in the 60s, though, in far eastern portions of our region. We'll be in the 70s in mid 70s in some locations tomorrow. Precip over the next couple of days remains pretty light until we get into late Wednesday. Then some areas could pick up, again, under those showers and storms, some heavier amounts. Lows tonight with a clear sky right around 35. A beautiful evening out there. Chilly. Tomorrow, lots of sun coming our way. Highs in the 70s. We'll call it 74. In our 7-day forecast, we continue with temperatures that are going to be nice, but an active 7-day forecast. Isolated storms on Wednesday. Better chances of storms Thursday, Friday. Rain showers around Saturday and afternoon storms again Sunday, Monday. It's not going to be an all-out rain out, but we are going to see multiple chances of precip, and some indications are widespread moderate precip and maybe some areas of heavier precip here by the time you take the next 7 days and add them all together.
Well, let's take a look what's happening on today's community calendar. The community calendar is brought to you by Riverstone Bank. We're local and we love our community.
Fly United Airlines, operated by SkyWest with Western Nebraska Regional Airport. United is dedicated to going the extra mile for you with daily flights to and from Denver, along with a commitment to excellent service. Reserve your flight today, and remember, United miles can be earned and redeemed with your flights. While at the airport, stop and enjoy authentic Italian food at Roma Italian Restaurant. Plus, Hertz Thrifty Car Rental is there for your car rental needs. Make life easier, relax, and get on board with Western Nebraska Regional Airport.
At Platte Valley Bank, we want to help you plan for tomorrow while you enjoy today. Our personalized trust services can help you do just that. You've worked hard to build your legacy, and you want to make sure that gets passed on for generations to come. We offer the professional guidance necessary to ensure that happens, according to your wishes. We pride ourselves in being friendly and professional while offering a highly tailored full line of trust and estate planning services to accommodate you. You belong here.
And finally tonight, District 48 State Senator Brian Hardin says filibustering and time wasted on the floor of the legislature has placed lawmakers into some uncharted territory when it comes to advancing legislation. Hardin says the mounting desire to maximize passage of bills means Christmas tree bills containing 5 or 6 somewhat related measures from a single committee are now growing to having the language of 10 or 20 measures shoved into a single package. The Gehring lawmaker says that may mean the measure of success at the end of the session may be somewhat skewed.
Do we want to measure it strictly from a perspective of saying, yay, we passed X number of bills, or do we actually want to pass good bills? Do we want to pass bills that we actually did in a thoughtful and meaningful way? So my sense is that it probably doesn't, the process we find ourselves in right now does not lend itself to necessarily passing the best possible bills.
Hardin says, to be sure, certain bills have to have a lot of quality discussion, but many others have not had the full consideration they deserve. Well, that does it for us this time. Thank you so much for tuning in. Stay safe out there, and we'll see you here next time.